Hey everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media. And today we are talking comic books. I have a bunch of Ollie finds that I want to share with you guys, plus an eBay pickup, which I think is just super cool. And then I have actually a book from Five Below that I figured this would be the best place for it since I have no other books on my shelf. So otherwise it'll be sitting here forever. So about 12 or so items to get through today. So let's not waste any more time at all. Let's dive right into my latest comic book haul. We'll start off with the only non-comic book item here, and this is just a really cool book I happened to stumble across at Five Below, so it was $5. This is from TCM, Fright Favorites. So this one just looks really interesting. There are 27 different movies that are spotlighted in this book rather, and it's all horror movies. So whenever I find a book that lists a bunch of horror movies that you need to see, I always grab it, even though most times I will have seen most, if not all of the movies in here. But it's still fun to have, and it's got some really great pictures like you can see right here. There's some Nightmare on Elm Street, which is awesome. Love to see that. So yeah, just a really cool book. And for $5, I figured, yeah, this one's getting added to that collection. So from TCM, we have Fright Favorites. I'll move right over to the eBay pickup because this was something that I had no idea existed until I stumbled across it, probably in some random YouTube video I was watching, but I had to pick it up the second I learned about it, and they had it on eBay for a good price. This is Clerks, the comic books. So this is the complete collection of all of the comic books related to Clerks, written, of course, by Kevin Smith himself. I was trying to see how many issues are in here, but I don't see it listed on the back, and I just don't remember exactly. But it's from Oni Press, and I just thought it was pretty darn cool for what it is. So had to grab this one. Actually, let me get this out of its plastic here. It came this way from the eBay seller, which was really nice. So let's open this up. Yeah, it is black and white, as you can see on the inside, which honestly, I'm not the biggest black and white comic fan. Like, I like manga, which is black and white, of course, but not my comic books. I like those to be color, but this is an exception because it is Clerks, one of a favorite movie of mine. So very excited to have this in the collection for a very good price off of eBay. Very interesting find in my book. Had never even heard of it until like I said, stumbled across it. So we have Clerks, the comic books by Kevin Smith. Everything else I picked up today, I grabbed from Ollie's. So I went to 2 different locations, and as you guys know, if you shop at Ollie's, every location is different. So I was very happy to find a lot more things at the second stop than my first stop, and I had the 15% off coupon for the second stop, so it really worked out. But I'll start off with the Marvel titles I found, and first up here is a Jason Aaron Thor book. This is Thor, the Saga of Gorr, the God Butcher. I mean, the title alone makes this sound fascinating, and it's Jason Aaron, who's generally pretty good. So very interested in this. I guess this collects Thor, God of Thunder's number 1 through 11. So should be pretty good, and there's just some beautiful artwork in this. I think the last Thor I read was, I think they call it like Lady Thor. It was when there was a female in the Thor role, and that was excellent. I really liked that one. So I would like to continue that, but I just haven't gotten around to it before. But this one just looks really cool, and I love the artwork on this release. So yeah, looking forward to getting through this. This is a bigger one, so this one was probably like $6, I want to say, somewhere around there. Which, man, I will tell you, I took all the stickers off of these last night, all the ones that didn't have wrapping on them. What an enormous pain in the neck that is. For whatever reason, their stickers at Ollie's lately have just been the worst to get off, and it is just such a struggle. But anyway, lots of Goo Gone and lots of patience is what gets it off. But this is Thor, God of Thunder, no, I'm sorry, the Saga of Gorr, the God Butcher, which collects Thor, the God of Thunder, issue number 1 through 11. What a mess. Let's move on to the next one. So this next one is actually a volume 1 for a story I've not read, but it's a Hulk story, so I'm interested. This is Hulk Volume 1, Smashtronaut. So this should be very interesting. This one is written by, who is this? Donny Cates, rather. So it should be pretty good. This collects the 2021 version of Hulk, numbers 1 through 6. And, I mean, just like the cover alone looks really nice on this. And so I'm sure this is going to be a fun one once I get around to it. But I really like Hulk stories. I loved the, whatever the one, it was like almost a horror story. I don't know what year that was, but that was awesome. I really want to go back to that and read it. I read like maybe the first volume, and I didn't own it. I think I read it through a streaming service, maybe Marvel Unlimited or something at the time, but that was great. So I want to go back to that at some point, but I have this one in the collection in the meantime. So hopefully this is a pretty good story. This is Hulk Volume 1, Smashtronaut, written by Donny Cates. Donny Cates, you know who I'm talking about. Anyway, moving on here, we have another thicker one, and I think this collects the entire story of this run. This is She-Hulk, the complete collection, and this one is written by Charles Soule. So this collects the 2014 run, issues number 1 through 12, and like I said, I believe that is the entire story of this, so not a super long run, and I think this one was a bit divisive, if I'm not mistaken, but I figured I would give it a shot. I don't know, is this the story that the She-Hulk series, whatever you want to call it, I guess, TV show, the series was based off of? Because it looks kind of familiar with her being in the suit, but I don't know. I didn't end up watching that, but I will at some point. But yeah, so artwork looks good. Count me in. Another one that was really cheap. So this is She-Hulk, the complete collection. The last two from Marvel are both Star Wars, which you guys know I love collecting for. The first one is actually a Journey 2 book, which they did basically to kind of fill the gap in storytelling from the last movie to whatever the Journey 2 is. And this one is to the Rise of Skywalker. So we have Star Wars Allegiance. And this one is written by Ethan Sacks. So this is a 4-volume set, very thin. I think this was like $4 if I'm not mistaken. So very cheap. But I always try to get these whenever I find them out in the wild because I love Star Wars, so why wouldn't I grab them? But yeah, I have a number of these in the collection I've shown in the past in other haul videos, but they have graphic novels that do the Journey to. They have full-on books, either young adult or, you know, adult novels. So I just think these are fun, you know, kind of bridging the gap in storytelling between the movies. So we have Star Wars Allegiance, volumes 1, or well, volume none, because I think it's the entire story, but issues 1 through 4. The last one from Marvel today is another story by Ethan Sacks, and another one I think it's the full story in one book here, but this is Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser Halcyon Legacy. I feel like I'm saying that weird, I don't know, but let me know if I'm saying it wrong. But anyway, like I said, this is issues 1 through 5 of this, and it's another one from Ethan Sacks that I think tells the entire tale in one little bind up here. You can see the artwork on this looks really nice here as well. So again, it's just Star Wars, it's cheap, and the art looks nice. Of course, I'm going to grab this. So Star Wars Galactic Empire Halcyon Legacy, and again, if I'm saying it wrong, let me know. This is by Ethan Sacks. Let's move over to DC now, and this first one here is from Neal Adams, and it's a Superman story. We have Superman, the Coming of the Supermen. Now, I know this Supermen story was a whole big thing at one point, I believe. I've never read anything about it, seen anything of it. I don't know anything about it, but my hope is that this is kind of a lead up to it, so it'll be the start of something rather than it falling right in the middle. But it's another one that just has really gorgeous artwork, and you're going to have multiple Supermen in here, which is just fun. So yeah, this looks really cool, and it's by Neal Adams, who I think is, you know, really well known. I feel like I know him from Batman, but maybe I'm wrong, and Superman is what he's best known for. But anyway, should be a fun one. This is Superman, the Coming of the Supermen by Neal Adams. All right, so everything else is still wrapped up, so I won't be able to show you the inside just because I'm not taking the plastic off on these ones yet, but they're all hardcover, which is really cool. So first up here, we have Justice League and Aquaman. What is this called? Drowned Earth. So it says Rise of the Ocean Lords. And I don't think this is a volume 1 either. No, I think this is a full kind of maybe alternate universe story. Not entirely sure, but it looked interesting. I have read very little for Aquaman, but I really like the movie, the original movie, so I figured this would be cool to read. You can see on the back there, the waves of destruction are rising. Can the world's greatest heroes turn the tide? So hopefully this will be fun, and it's not in the middle of something where I'm not going to understand it. I always take that risk, though, when I buy these from Ollie's, but looks like a good time. So we have Justice League and Aquaman, Rise of the Ocean Lords, part of the Drowned Earth. Maybe that's a sub-series? I don't know. Let me know if you're familiar down below. This next one has to be one of the coolest finds of the day, but I've heard great things about it over the years, but I've never read it before. This is a Grant Morrison story, and it is the deluxe edition hardcover of The Multiversity. So this is normally a $50 book that you can see right there. I paid $12.99 minus 15% because of the discount I had. But this just looks interesting. The cover is beautiful in itself. It feels premium, one I'm very interested in checking out. So if you know anything about this, let me know. But I've heard great things over the years. Grant Morrison I know can be very hit or miss, especially for me. We'll see if this one's a hit or not. This is The Multiversity, the deluxe hardcover edition. And last but not least today is something that I just think looks awesome. This is all horror related, so I had to grab it. We have Joe Hill presents the Hill House Comics collection. And you can see how chunky this is, but it's not just one story. Oh no. We have a whole bunch in here. So yeah, as you can see, all of these different volumes are included in this, and they are all the trade paperback volumes, but they come in this really nice hardcover box set. I just think this thing looks so cool. And this is normally priced at $100. It was 75% off plus another 15% on top of that at $24.99. Like, what a good deal. So this is really cool because they actually had one of these. I think it was Basket Full of Heads, that's what it was. They had that one in the hardcover standalone version, but that was like 10 bucks by itself. And so I figured, you know what, just get this copy of everything because you get a bunch more for only 15 extra bucks. Why not? It just seemed like their way to go. So I'm interested to see this. I have read only volume 1 of Lock and Key, but I really enjoyed it. And I do own, I think, the first couple in very nice hardcover editions. I plan on going back to those at some point and reading through it and then eventually getting over to these. But I don't know that the story is connected in any way. But it's Joe Hill, who of course is Stephen King's son, so I'm guessing there's going to be some connected universe of some sort amongst them. But yeah, looking forward to checking this out. Just a cool, really cool find, in my opinion. This is Joe Hill presents Hill House Comics. All right, so there is a big old heavy stack of new books for the collection. Ollie's is my favorite place for picking up graphic novels. I don't really go anywhere else in person to seek out graphic novels anymore. There's only Barnes & Noble as like another option. It's just so much more expensive there. Obviously, just different types of stores between Ollie's and Barnes & Noble. But anyway, I love Ollie's, and so I'd love to hear from you guys down in the comments below. Have you been to your local Ollie's lately? And if so, have you been able to find anything cool? Everybody has different items when they go to their local Ollie's, so I'd love to hear what you've been finding down in the comments below. But that is going to do it for today, guys. So thank you so much for checking out this video. And if you made it all the way to the end here, I really do appreciate that. But with that said, before I let you go, I'll just encourage you all to consume some media today. Thanks again for watching, and I will catch you all next time.